Hey everybody. So this week, it's a little shorter, right? I am encouraging you to play the role of illustrator. So I would like you to be the creator of images for a book or a story that you really enjoy, right? The illustration can be simple and flat 2D. It can be very detailed and three-dimensional where you use shading, right? The approach is up to you. Now, if you are going to illustrate a scene, right, a favorite scene from a favorite book, if it is already illustrated, try and illustrate it in a different way. Like if I were to illustrate Elephant and Piggy, maybe I think about what Elephant and Piggy might look like if they were different, right? Or if you are illustrating something out of Beagle, right? The unimaginary friend, right? What would that look like, right? And that's about it, right? So I'm really curious to see the subject of your illustration, what book inspires you, and what scene inspires you. And I would like you also to include the character and the setting, right? Give me some detail, right? That tells me at least who the character is and where the setting is, right? So I'm going to show you a couple images real quick to illustrate the key points of this challenge, and I can't wait to see what you do. So, like I mentioned before, your illustration could be flat. This is the cover to Beagle, the Unimaginary Friend. And you can see where Beagle is very flat. The setting, the buildings that you see on the right-hand side or the nighttime scene are pretty flat too. We can get an idea where the story takes place. We see the main character. Inside the book, though, the illustration looks a lot different. Here is an illustration from Beagle inside, and you can see where the illustration looks much more 3D. The scene looks much more real. So you could go flat and simple like you see on the cover, or you could do something where you add a lot more detail, you shade, you press harder with your pencil or your crayons in order to make things look 3D. That's up to you. Here's another kind of simple example with a twist from the book Knuffle Bunny by Mo Willems. So Mo has a very kind of simple style like he does with the Pigeon books and Elephant and Piggy, but he drew on top of photographs from his neighborhood, so it adds a different layer. But again, you've got the main characters and the city setting. Here's another somewhat realistic illustration from the book Hair Love by Matthew Cherry. The illustration was done by Vashti Harrison, and you can see the main characters right there. And even though the background is kind of washy, we still have a good idea of the bathroom setting in this illustration on this page. And then, this obviously is not an illustration, but it spurred the idea for this experiment, for this week's experiment. And J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter books, is releasing a new book, The Ichabog. And she is encouraging students and children to create illustrations inspired by the book. And you can share them with her on Twitter and Instagram, I think, right? Using hashtag the Ichabog or at the Ichabog. And she would love to see your work, and so would I. So if you're a fan of Harry Potter, this might be an option. Do a little reading and then create your illustration. All right, my friends. So remember, you are an illustrator. Choose a favorite story, choose a scene. Go ahead and illustrate that scene with character and setting, and share your work through Seesaw or Google Classroom. I can't wait to see what you all create.